And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net, should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the loudest, fullest sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, "If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout." And today, we're currently featuring over 2,000 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. Our mission statement for the network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 4 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now the audio from these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also in the selector is our local receiver audio. And today our local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and the other is aimed at 134 degrees. In addition, 2 of the 3 may be rotated separately. They are selected by a 6-position rotary selector. Also today on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR specially oriented resonant dipole antenna. One leg of this dipole is broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg is broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today we'll be running our input source indicator, so when we switch from an Internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video location. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for good radio conditions this afternoon, and as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. And we pray that you'll protect everyone in this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States as we go through a very conflicting time in America's history with dark clouds all around. We pray that you will reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters, and through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this is an area of the band where we have many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their bandpass to no wider than 100 to 2900. Again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now let's check in and see if Charlie, K1GZL, is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Yes.
Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Yes, Jim, solid copy, or not nearly as strong as usual. But part of it is icing. I am icing up here. This is K1GZL. How do you copy? I would assume maybe Milford, Pennsylvania.
Yes, we're using Milford, Pennsylvania. You're 30 over, Roger.
Yes, we're using Milford, Pennsylvania. You're 30 over, Roger.
Okay, I'm glad I am, because my output, I might be getting 600 out. But I've got about a 1.8 to 1, almost 2 to 1 SWR here, because we had some freezing rain when we went over to colder conditions. Then we got into a little sleet, and then we've gotten about 1 inch of dry powder snow now. Right now there's a very light snow flurry going on. Winds are westerly, maybe 15 to 30 miles per hour, and the temperature at noon was 9 degrees. At midnight it was 43 degrees with rain, and right now it's 9 degrees above zero, and with the wind the chill factor is 10 to 20 degrees below normal. I had recorded Captain Mike over a week ago, aeronautical, but for some reason I lost the tape. I can't find it, so I'm tapeless today, but by next week at this time, he should be flying again. And then as we get into early March, he's going to spend about 2 weeks flying down to Central America and also South America, so he'll be on that particular run. So back to you, Jim, KC9VKV, K1GZL. Go ahead.
Roger, Charlie. Well, I was just thinking now, here's Captain Mike headed down to South America, I think you said. I wonder how your antenna is going to favor that QSO.
I wonder how your antenna is going to favor that QSO.
Well, I do have on 20 meters, I do have 2 antennas I can use. One is a 4-element diamond-shaped wire quad. That's firing out to San Diego, Los Angeles. And the second one is a much lower 5-element wire beam, slightly inverted bead, and that's pointed dead south, or about 10 degrees west of San Juan, Puerto Rico. And it gets into especially western South America and the Caribbean islands fairly well. So I'm looking forward to working him on that antenna, Jim. Go ahead.
Roger. Now that 5-element beam, that's a Yagi, I'm assuming, and would it follow the typical gain factor of a 5-element Yagi?
Would it follow the typical gain factor of a 5-element Yagi?
Well, as far as the antenna goes, yes, it should. However, the antenna is not that high, and I don't have a drop-off in front of that particular antenna. I don't have a downsloping like I do on my other antennas, but for some reason it does work. It does work. It works fairly well down into Miami and moderately well down into Jacksonville, Florida, and Savannah, Georgia, and parts of eastern South Carolina. But it's a good substitute antenna, and the loading is the same. The loading is actually the same between the two antennas, so it's very easy to switch from one to the other. Even though the signals are down and I'm iced up here a bit, here's how you're coming in. I think. Can't find it. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Lost in the shuffle again. The story of my life, Charlie. I don't know. I'm just, again, back to your antenna. The decibel gain for the 5-element, would you say would be in the neighborhood of maybe 7 to 8 dB gain?
You say would be in the neighborhood of maybe 7 to 8 dB gain?
Yes, I think you're about correct. It should be 7 or 8 dB gain. But the reflection, the ground reflection out in front of the antenna would not be anywhere near what the quad is, which goes down, which has land sloping downhill in front of it. That is much better. That is much better. But this one goes. I'm skirting the hill I'm on when I fire at 180 degrees or directly south. I'm skirting the hill, and the elevation does not drop off in front of that antenna, which the average height is about 30 feet. About 30 feet, Jim. Go ahead.
Roger. Well, you've got Antenna City. I've seen your QSL or your QRZ page. I had a mental block there, but I've seen the pictures of your antenna farm. You look a lot like my house.
But I've seen the pictures of your antenna farm. You look a lot like my house.
Oh, okay. Well, long as we survive, Jim. Let me try this again. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. I got a bad connection here. Boy, this is not my day. Wait a minute. 7
to 8 dB gain? Antenna City. I've seen your QSL your QRZ page. In the middle block there, but I've seen the pictures of your antenna farm. You look a lot like my house.
Okay. You can hear a little bit of a noise in the background. Normally you're well over 9, but you're running a 7 to a 9 right now. But part of it's my icing. Okay, Jim. Look, I won't hold it any longer, and we'll try. There goes my voice. We'll try to catch you next Friday. And hope we're not iced up here. Not iced up. We are expecting a situation on a Tuesday night of snow turning to rain again. One of those inside runners. However, toward the end of next week, there could be the possibility we may get some substantial snow. We might, but it's still got a question mark. But these storms seem to be designed to take an inside running to the west of us, and that puts us in the warm sector. Although the rain, around 1 inch that fell, totally, that has ended up in the snow out here, which is about 20 inches or more deep yet. That will become very hard because everything is frozen solid now. We might be able to walk on it, go out and walk on the snow. Well, I'll find that out. I'll try it tomorrow. So, Jim, I'll sign with you here, and I appreciate your patience with me. KC9VKV, Bob, if you're listening by chance, I'll be on 75 at 2 o'clock, 8 p.m. K1GZL, we are clear.
Roger, Roger, Charlie. Well, thanks for opening our show. Appreciate that. 73 up that way. Watch yourself out on that snow and ice, man. Just a little bit of ice can go a long way as far as making passage difficult out there, and maybe even dangerous. So be very careful. This is KC9VKV. Just a reminder, my name is Jim, better known in some circles as Dr. VKV, and we are recording now live till 5. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV followed by the word logbook. That's KC9VKV followed by the word logbook. And that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page on YouTube, where we're currently featuring over 2,000 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. This recording will be cut number 1 in that series of 2,000 plus recordings. And we should have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So this is KC9VKV, and if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Zulu 8, Romeo Lima Delta. Over.
Kilo Zulu 8, come back with the whole call sign slowly phonetically, please.
Zulu 8, come back with the whole call sign slowly phonetically, please.
Kilo Zulu 8, Romeo Lima Delta.
Romeo Lima Delta, Roger, Roger, and what's the name there?
Romeo Lima Delta, Roger, Roger, and what's the name there?
My name is Bob, Bravo, Bravo.
Roger, Bob, and where are you located, sir?
Roger, Bob, and where are you located, sir?
Okay, we're located in snowy northeast Ohio, and it's also very cold here. What's your
Roger, Roger, Ohio. And, Bob, what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, Roger, Ohio. And, Bob, what radio are you running today, sir?
I have a Yoshi FT851.
Copy FT851, is that a Roger?
Copy FT851, is that a Roger?
891. Yes, sir.
Roger, Roger, Bob, 891. And, gosh, I've got a lot of sideband chatter across co-channel splatter, so to speak. So if you would, why don't you give me about 10 seconds, tell me about your antenna system, and let me look around for a better path for us, Roger?
Tell me about your antenna system, and let me look around for a better path for us, Roger?
QSO.
Yeah, Bob, you were going to give me about 10 seconds on your antenna system so I could get a signal to look for?
We're going to give me about 10 seconds on your antenna system so I could get a signal to look for.
Roger that. Run a 100 watts into it. Use an antenna tuner there. QSO.
Roger, Roger, Bob. Well, I caught a little bit of that. I do have, like I say, a lot of adjacent channel stuff, traffic, but we're trying to do the best we can. So we can start our tune-up procedure if you'd be interested in that. Starts with you engaging your compressor at a 3. It's a token amount, never hear it on the air, but it does what we need it to do. So our setup does start with engaging your compressor at a 3.
Our setup does start with engaging your compressor at a 3.
Can you tell me what your QTH is?
Yeah, mine QTH is down towards Louisville, Kentucky. I'm just across the Ohio River from Louisville, Kentucky. Roger, Roger. Yeah, Bob, I had to, my Milford SDR kind of kicked me off there. I had to revise that, so I didn't catch much of what you said there. Anyway, if you're interested in a set of procedure, we would begin. Otherwise, your signal is, like I said, I'm only copying you on the Milford at the moment. So let me know if you want to do the setup procedure or no.
Want to do the setup procedure or no?
Not this time. I'm starting to get some adjacent frequency interference here, and it's difficult to copy over.
Roger, roger, Bob. Okay, sir. 73. You have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. And if you get a chance, join us next Friday. Roger.
Next Friday, Roger.
Roger. Do believe you said next Friday here, so I'll dial around here again. 73, thanks to the Qso.
Roger, roger, Bob, 73, sir. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
You want to check out, give me a shout.
Yeah, we are using, getting a lot of cross-channel adjacent channel interference today, but we shall continue on. We are recording now live till 5, and then later on we'll post it up on YouTube, and we'll do that by noon tomorrow. So again, if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. We're listening.
Give me a shout. We're listening.
I did have a little bit of copy on my local antenna of somebody. Station, come back slowly phonetically with the call sign.
Slowly phonetically with the call sign.
This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. And this day we're having problems with our SDRs, keep dropping off. But anyway, we're monitoring Georgia, New York, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. So even if you're doing 100 watts there, we are listening, Roger.
Even if you're doing 100 watts there, we are listening, Roger.
Not copying anyone at the moment. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. We are recording now live till 5, at which time we'll then post it up on YouTube for noon tomorrow, and you'll be able to cruise through this recording plus 2,000 additional recordings. This recording will be cut number 1 of a series of over 2,000 Qso-Vlog recordings.
Qso-Vlog recordings. Qso-Vlog recordings.
Victor Charlie 9, Victor Charlie Victor.
Station calling, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign, please.
Station calling, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign, please.
Okay, roger that. Kilo Foxtrot 9, Victor Alpha. Kilo Foxtrot 9, Victor Alpha. And the name is Steve. Sierra Tango Echo Victor Echo. And we're located in Lafayette, Indiana.
Roger, roger, Steve in Indiana. My goodness, good to hear you, sir. We don't usually get a lot of close-in stuff. We're in New Albany, Indiana, just across from Louisville, Kentucky. Roger, roger.
New Albany, Indiana, just across from Louisville, Kentucky. Roger, roger.
Yeah, roger that. I think I talked to you a couple years ago, but always good to hear you. I don't know. I haven't heard you in a while, and I just didn't know what happened to you there. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Well, we are on every Friday afternoon from 3:30 till 5, where we record live and then post it up on YouTube by noon tomorrow, so folks can hear what they sound like. And we offer a setup procedure if you might be interested in that.
And we offer a setup procedure if you might be interested in that.
What did you say now? A setup?
Yes, sir. Transmitter setup. We take a generic 10 dB dynamic range, average 30% modulation transmitter, and move it up to a 3 dB dynamic range transmitter at 80 to 85% of average peak modulation. Roger.
80 to 85% of average peak modulation. Roger.
Okay. Well, I don't think there's any need for that. I think this radio is pretty much set up where everybody knows me that I talk to. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Your dynamic range does look to be about 3 dB. And this, I would just say that perhaps you might use an additional couple of clicks of top-end EQ boost from where you are to just improve your intelligibility and articulation just a tad.
Improve your intelligibility and articulation just a tad.
Okay, you talking about my mic EQ? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're probably your internal radio EQ. 2 clicks boost from where it is at the moment, Roger.
EQ, 2 clicks boost from where it is at the moment, Roger.
Okay, I've got frequency, level, and bandwidth here on this Yaesu 3000.
Yes, sir. Well, bandwidth, you want to be 100 to 2900. You want to be 100 to 2900 on your bandpass, Roger.
You want to be 100 to 2900 on your bandpass, Roger.
Okay, I'm there, but this is parametric. That's something else here. Too far. Yeah, let me go back there, and that's menu item number 104, and it's 100 to 2900, and that's where I am. And let me get back to my EQ settings for the high end. I have 3 settings. I have frequency, level, and bandwidth for the high end. Go ahead.
Well, you're talking about your band pass. That we want that to be at 100 to 2900. Now, is that a 2-band, 3-band, 8-band EQ or high boost kind of EQ? Or what kind of EQ is it?
Or high boost kind of EQ? Or what kind of EQ is it?
It's a Yaesu 3000. It's a 3-band EQ.
Yes, sir. Okay. It starts with your middle band flat. Your middle band should be flat because the whole idea of an equalizer is to balance the top to the mid-range and the bottom to the mid-range. And if you boost the mid-range, it's so much harder for the top and bottom to catch up. So ideally, we keep that mid-range EQ flat, and then we EQ the top end, and I would suggest that you increase your top end treble EQ 2 clicks from where it is.
Your top end treble EQ 2 clicks from where it is.
Well, the parametric EQ level 2 is at 10. I can't take that any higher. Let me try my bandwidth here.
Well, if you're at 100 to 2900, you're already maxed out on your band pass, Roger.
100 to 2900, you're already maxed out on your band pass, Roger.
Okay, well, I have individual bandwidth for each equalizer. Okay, I went up 2 clicks on the bandwidth for this high end. Go ahead.
Roger, I think that's pretty good. It sounds a little bit better. I thought you were talking about band pass. You're at 100 to 2900, so we don't want to get any wider than that. That does well there. Why don't you give me about 10 seconds and let me listen to you as you tell me about your antenna system.
About 10 seconds and let me listen to you as you tell me about your antenna system.
Okay, the EQ3 setting for bandwidth, BWTH, taking that as bandwidth, is at a 5 right now. The antenna is an off-center-fed dipole, and 10 through 80 meter. We're running, we're running right at about 600 watts into that, and using an HF auto tuner. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Now, do you have selectable frequency areas on that parametric? Can you move that parametric up to, say, a 2.5, 2.6 K?
2.5, 2.6 K?
Yeah, right now it's set on 2100.
Yeah, move that on up to 25, sir.
Yeah, move that on up to 25, sir.
Okay, here's 2100. And I'll move that, that is 2500 right there. Go ahead.
Okay, and you're maxed out on your push, is that a roger?
Speech.
Okay, and you're maxed out on your push, is that a roger?
Maxing out on my what?
Your boost, your plus 10 or whatever, is that a roger?
Your boost, your plus 10 or whatever, is that a roger?
Yeah, my level is as high as it'll go, plus 10.
Alrighty, and how close are you working that mic out of curiosity?
Alrighty, and how close are you working that mic out of curiosity?
Oh, about 2 or 3 inches. Go ahead.
Roger. Well, you're pretty much upper mids there, not a lot on the really top end there. So, and that's what I was hoping to get more activity in the syllabic range by moving that frequency up to 2.6K on the top end. Roger.
That frequency up to 2.6K on the top end. Roger.
Oh, you want 2.6? I'm at 2.5.
Well, let's try 2.6, sir. And your plus 10 push at 2.6. I think that's what I'm getting.
Push at 2.6. I think that's what I'm getting.
Yeah. 10 and bandwidth is 5.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see here. I just lost momentarily my Milford. Let me see if I'm back on Milford. Come back and let me listen to you for a minute.
Come back and let me listen to you for a minute.
Okay. I had to drive to Indianapolis, Indiana last night. Wife had a doctor. It was brutal. It freezing rain and then ice and then it started snowing. So it was pretty slick there. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I've got you on my local antenna, a fairly good copy, like about 10 over. Still don't have a lot of top end like I would like, but your mid range is flat, I'm assuming. And what's your baseline? What's your base EQ setting?
Okay, let me get up there. All right, the base frequency is 200. EQ level is minus 12, and the bandwidth is 2.
Roger. Try coming up to, say, a minus 8. Let's see if we can get a little more bottom end. You're right now. You're all upper mids. Maybe we can get a little more bottom end in there without getting any mud. So bring up your bass EQ 3 clicks or so, and let me hear that.
Okay, the base level, you need it up or down?
Up, 3 clicks from where it is. Boost, 3 clicks from where it is.
Okay, I went from a minus 12 to a minus 9, and this is what you're hearing now. Go ahead.
Roger. What would the top end EQ width? What is that?
Okay, let me get back down there and take a look. Bandwidth is 5.
Out of 10 or 15?
Yes.
All right. Take it to. Let's narrow that up and see if we can get something happening. That you're saying that's a 5 at the moment or a 2.5?
It's 5.
Go to a width of 2.5 or 3, 2 to 3, somewhere in there, and let me see if that sharpens up the EQ in the syllabic range, upper, top, treble.
Okay. Here's a 3, bandwidth of 3, and moving it down, there's a bandwidth of 2. So I will go ahead and take this back up to 3, and give you a minute to decide what you think.
Yeah, I think 3, a little bit wider there. 3 sounded pretty good. I could hear it trying to work in the upper side. If you get too selective, then you don't get much activity from that top end. You know, it's so selective frequency-wise. So I think 3 is a nice compromise. Could be the way that, how far off mic are you working? How far away from the mic are you working?
About 2 to 3 inches. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. That's about the ideal place. Just not a lot of real top-end response from that microphone. Trying to think, and you're sure that your bandpass is wide at 100 to 2900?
Yes, absolutely. 100 to 2900.
Roger. Well, I think we about got it, Steve. We've got that. You know, trying to get the max out of that top end. Now you say you can go to a 15 boost on that top end.
No, I can only go to 10.
And you're there already?
Yes.
Roger. Okay. So my synopsis is we need a little more top end, but there's no way to get it there. Roger.
Well, I might be able to get it if I change the microphone. This is a hand mic, Yaesu hand mic.
Yes, sir. Now, just out of curiosity, you might try working that hand mic, pull it to the side of your mouth, right to the corner of your lips and talk across it. Pull it to the corner of your lips and actually touch the corner of your lips and talk across it.
Okay, we'll do that. It's... I'm speaking at about a 90-degree angle to the microphone. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's what we normally recommend to keep from having mouth noise, plosives, and stuff out of those hand mics. That one didn't really affect much of the top-end frequency response, Roger.
Okay, roger that.
Now, you did say that you have other mics, like a desk mic or something like that, to try?
Yeah, I do. I've got a Yaesu MD100, and I've also got a Heil.
Well, if you'd like, go ahead and try that. Is that Yaesu Electret condenser mic?
It's model MD100.
Roger. Try the Bob Howe mic.
Okay, stand by there.
This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. Right now we're in Qso with Steve, and we're working on a audio curve, trying to get a little more top end out of that radio of his.
All right, here we are. We are on the Heil microphone, and I'm about 2 to 3 inches away from it. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Now, just switching mics, you picked up about 6 dB increase in the top end, that top end of treble EQ. Exactly what I was looking for. Roger?
Okay, roger that.
I would use that microphone over the hand mic because it's just so much more brighter frequency response in the top end on that mic.
Roger, will do.
And the EQ setting, I would leave that the same. I mean, we're still boosting that top end, and that microphone just happens to have a little more top end than the hand mic, so, we were kind of deficient there. Still, we could use some more, but that hand mic is much better. I'm sorry, but the desk mic is much better than the hand mic for clarity. Roger?
Okay, roger that. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Let me say, and what radio is that you're running, sir?
Yeah, this is the Yaesu FT-DX 3000.
Yes, sir, Steve. Thanks for dropping by, sir. And again, we'll be posting this recording up on YouTube by noon tomorrow. And if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, it will take you to this recording. This will be cut number 1 of a series of 2,000 plus Qso-Vlog recordings. Roger?
Okay, let me get your call sign correct. Did you say Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor?
Yes, sir, that is correct. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Name is Jim, Juliet India Mike.
All right, Jim. I don't know why I had VCV, but I've got it correct now. Yeah, thank you very much. I'll be looking forward to listening to it.
Yes, sir. And you'll be able to hear the difference between those two mics, and I think that's the most important thing, that you'll be able to realize how much cleaner and clearer that desk mic is over the hand mic, Roger.
Yeah, roger that, Jim. All right, we'll be listening in for a while. KC9VK.
Roger, Steve, 73, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. My name is Jim, Juliet India Mike, and if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Give me a shout.
Kilo Mike 4.
November 4, Lima, Quebec.
November 4 station, come back slowly with the call sign there.
Station, come back slowly with the call sign there. All right, it's November 4, Lima, Quebec. N4LQ.
Roger, LQ, and what's the name there?
Roger, LQ, and what's the name there?
Name is Steve, and we are in Shelby, North Carolina.
Roger, Steve. Well, you're just following us, Steve, so this is Steve Alley for the moment, and you're in North Carolina, Roger?
Steve Alley for the moment, and you're in North Carolina, Roger?
Roger, in Shelby, which is about 40 miles west of Charlotte, North Carolina. And I just got out a FT891, a little bitty 100-watt rig from Yaesu, and the menu on this thing is the most complicated menu in the world, but I've attempted to set it's got parametric equalization that is rather complicated. I just wanted to see if it sounded halfway decent to you. Over.
Roger. Well, your EQ is fairly good, but you're really pushing your ALC. So I would pull that mic, simplistically, I would pull that mic down about 10 clicks from wherever it is at the moment, and let me hear you.
Down about 10 clicks from wherever it is at the moment, and let me hear you.
Okay, that is, let me see if I can figure this out, because the mic gain seems to be separate from the compressor, and boy, hang on a second.
All right, let me rephrase that. Our normal setup procedure starts with you engaging your compressor at a 3. A token amount, you'll never hear it on the air, but it helps us achieve our 3 dB dynamic range at the end of the setup. So it'd be compressor on and at a 3. And you might keep in mind a 3 and a 6 on a compressor are the same thing as far as working on the words, except the 6 gives you suck up between the words, which doesn't help you at all. So we want that engaged compressor at a 3, Roger?
We want that engaged compressor at a 3, Roger?
Okay. All right, well, the compression goes from 0 to 100. So it's a little hard to, a 3 wouldn't be much, but I've got it set on 10, which is really pretty low.
Roger, well, it's 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100, okay? We're only looking for a third of the capabilities of the compressor.
We're only looking for a third of the capabilities of the compressor.
Okay, well, I did have it on 30, so wait a minute, let me turn it back up to, all right, there is 30, right there is 30, and I'm going to go to the mic gain and see if I can turn that down. Hang on.
I'll tell you the best way to do that. If you have access to your ALC meter, let's go to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand, and as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is reading mid-scale to 2/3.
Until your ALC meter is reading mid-scale to 2/3.
Right, that would be great, but you can't do it on this rig. If you go into the menu to adjust the mic gain, you cannot see any meters. So you have to go back and forth, and that takes a minute. But, okay, I turned it down about 10% on the mic gain.
Yes, sir. What was your first setting, and what is your setting now on mic gain?
Yes, sir. What was your first setting, and what is your setting now on mic gain?
The mic gain was set on 50%, which was the default,
and I backed it down to 40%.
All right. Try 35, if you would, sir. Try 35, and right now you're still a little bit hot into your ALC. We're looking for 3 dB dynamic range. Right now you're about 2.5 dB, so you might be pushing just a skosh too hard.
2.5 dB, so you might be pushing just a skosh too hard.
That's down to 20% on the mic gain, and how's that sound?
Yes, sir. Now, you sound really close to the mic. You sound like you're closer than 3 inches. I want you to move back about 1.5 inches to 2 inches further back than what you were running just there.
Up to 2 inches further back than what you were running just there.
Roger, roger. Okay, this is N4LQ. I'm back about 3 or 4 inches now.
Yes, sir. Sounds really nice. And you're not picking up a lot of room noise, so I would run it just like that. If that's comfortable for you, it solves the EQ problem. It solves the level problem. It's just a matter of if you can remember to work the mic like you were just that last transmission.
Remember to work the mic like you were just that last transmission.
All right, yeah, I can do that. It's just a cheap mobile mic that came with the rig, and we're planning on putting this in the pickup truck and getting the ADAS automatic antenna for it. So just checking it out. Appreciate it, Jim.
Yes, sir. Well, you got it right there. Just remember, now, the thing is, when you put it in that mic, when you put it in that mobile, you may have a different environment than where you have it now. So the thing to do is leave everything the way it is and just maybe pull your mic gain down, because your ambient noise is going to be hotter in a mobile situation, Roger. But wait and see just how that goes before you do anything, Roger.
Wait and see just how that goes before you do anything, Roger.
Roger, roger, that's great, and I'll keep that in mind and appreciate the help. And by the way, I'm an old Louisville native here. I left there in 2008 after I retired, but I worked in downtown Louisville for 30 years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love Louisville to visit. I worked there for 10 years at WHAS Radio as a production director from 70 to 79. So I love the city, but I love my little town over here in Indiana too, Roger.
I love my little town over here in Indiana too, Roger.
Yeah, I understand, and I don't really care to go back, but I used to enjoy getting out and walking for a few miles at lunchtime, and I walked past the WHAS building many hundreds of times over those 30 years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, let me say 73 to you, Steve, and I wish you luck in getting that mobile unit in the mobile. And when you do, give me a shout. Let me hear you from the mobile, Roger.
When you do, give me a shout. Let me hear you from the mobile, Roger.
Yeah, will do. Thanks a lot, Jim. Have a great day, 73. Let's see, KC9VKV, N4LQ, will be clear.
Roger. Now check the call sign, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor Victor Kilo Victor VKV. Roger.
Victor Kilo Victor Victor Kilo Victor VKV. Roger.
Got it.
Okay, Steve, and like I say, we are recording now live till 5, so if you want to hear your radio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page on YouTube, and we'll have this posted by noon tomorrow. So just go to YouTube, do a call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, and that will take you to this Qso-Vlog page. This will be cut number 1 of 2,000 some odd Qso-Vlog air checks, Roger.
One of 2,000 some odd Qso-Vlog air checks, Roger.
Roger, copy, and we'll do that. 73.
Yes, sir, Steve. 73, sir. Have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
VLogNet. If if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo November
Charlie Tango, KCT calling.
There's a Kilo November Tango, something like that. Try again.
There's a Kilo November Tango, something like that. Try again.
Kilo November
Tango, KCT.
2 again, and I could not copy either one. There's a Kilo something Tango. Station, try that.
Something Tango. Station, try that.
Kilo 8, Charlie Tango, KCT, your name is Bob, over.
Roger, Bob. Okay, be very deliberate and slow on your call sign phonetically, and let me hear you.
Deliberate and slow on your call sign phonetically, and let me hear you.
Kilo 8, Charlie Tango, KCT, over.
K8CT. Roger, Roger. Now, interesting, Bob. Where are you located, sir?
Roger, now, interesting, Bob. Where are you located, sir?
I'm in southern Michigan, about 10 north of Flint. You got a nice signal. You're Q5S9 plus 20 dB. I'm running about a kilowatt here also, over.
Roger, Bob. It sounds like you might be a little tight on your power output. If you would, just as a test, dump your box and let me hear you barefoot.
Test. Dump your box and let me hear you barefoot.
Well, yeah, just a minute. I can't reach it across the room. Just a minute.
Okay, I don't go to a lot of trouble, sir. If it's a major thing, I just was curious if it was the box that was tight, or perhaps the radio.
Curious if it was the box that was tight, or perhaps the radio.
You mean tight? You mean narrow frequency?
Yes, sir. It sounds like it's. Gosh, I wouldn't know how to put it. It just sounds tight. So why don't you give me about 10 seconds and let me hear you barefoot, and then we'll take it from there.
Let me hear you barefoot, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay, I'm running barefoot right now, 35 watts. I can turn it up. That's about 95 watts there. You say tight. Are you talking about narrow audio band frequency?
It sounds nonlinear. Your audio with the box on sounded nonlinear. It sounded fine without the box. Now come put the box back online and let me hear your audio.
Put the box back online and let me hear your audio.
Okay, that's with the amplifier back on. 1,000 watts from an Alpha 87A.
Roger, Roger. Now, would it be difficult for you to reduce your drive level a little bit to, say, drop your output by maybe 100 watts or 200 watts? And let me hear that.
Maybe 100 watts or 200 watts, and let me hear that.
Okay, that's, hello, testing, 1, 2, 3. That's 700 watts out right there, over.
Already, and you have checked your tuning of the box. That's the main thing, that the box might not be tuned exactly right. So double check your tuning while we're at it, Roger.
So double check your tuning while we're at it, Roger.
You're talking about the amplifier, right?
Roger.
Roger.
You said the box, or you're talking about the amplifier?
Yes, the power amplifier, sir. If you could back off of your output power by 100 watts or so and retune there, and let me hear if that power amplifier might have been stressed and operating in a nonlinear fashion.
Stressed and operating in a nonlinear fashion.
Okay, very good. Well, I haven't had that report before. It's an automatic tune amplifier. It's an Alpha 87A auto tune. I don't know what else to say.
Yes, sir. Well, why don't we just press on with it, and then you'll be able to hear it when you listen. But if you're interested in a setup procedure, it starts with a compressor engaged at a 3, at a 10, or 30 out of 100. Roger, we're just looking for a third of the capability of the compressor, something you'll never really hear on the air, but it helps us achieve our final dynamic range of 3 dB.
It helps us achieve our final dynamic range of 3 dB.
Okay, very good. Let's see. We got compression off now. I don't have any compression running.
Okay, we want the compressor on at a 3. That's part of our beginning of our setup procedure. Compression on at a 3. Roger.
Beginning of our setup procedure. Compression on at a 3. Roger.
Okay. That's with a little bit of compression, about a third of the compression level.
Roger. What kind of compression level input control do you have? Is it a 1 out of 10, a 1 out of 100, or how is that expressed?
1 out of 10, a 1 out of 100, or how is that expressed?
Just with a tick mark. I'm afraid we're not going to get anywhere here.
Roger. So, well, it doesn't have any nomenclature as far as input level, so I would then say just at the 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock position on your input control, if it's like that. I don't know your radio specifically. Matter of fact, what is your radio, Bob?
Your radio specifically. Matter of fact, what is your radio, Bob?
Well, I'm running a Yaesu FT2000 with an EQ Plus and a amplifiers in Alpha 87A.
Roger. Did you say you had outboard audio equipment?
Did you say you had outboard audio equipment?
Yes, that's right.
All right. It could be that you might be getting some RF in your AF. That would cause another distorted signal similar to what I'm hearing there. When you get RF bleed into your audio and introducing some distortion, it sounds like it might be something in that neighborhood. Roger?
Introducing some distortion, it sounds like it might be something in that neighborhood. Roger?
Okay, very good. Well, thanks for that help. I'll get off the air here and do some nosing around and listening. When I listen to my audio on an SDR radio, I don't hear any distortion, but that doesn't mean I'm not putting it out. Thanks for your report. Like I say, I'll get off the air here and do some tweaking and twiddling and do some investigation. Over.
Yes, sir, Bob. And also, I might encourage you to increase your treble EQ by about 3 clicks boost from where it is. A little more treble, because you're mostly upper mids now, but with very little really top-end EQ for intelligibility. So I would say at least 3 or 4 dB push on your top-end treble EQ. Roger?
Push on your top-end treble EQ. Roger?
Okay, I added some trouble. When I look at my signal here from the 2000, look at it on the GUI or the graphical interface of an Anon 200D, I have a flat audio response on that display, so I'm at a little bit of a loss here on what you're telling me. But I did increase the treble about a third. Over.
Roger. Yeah, and the bottom end is probably rolling out at about 300 cycles or earlier. Not much bottom end at all. So, you might look at that graph and try to figure out exactly what's happening there, sir. But I'm looking at your audio on a spectrum analyzer tied to the receiver, and I do see you rolling out at probably about 300 cycles.
Receiver, and I do see you rolling out at probably about 300 cycles.
Okay, well, that's different than what I see here on the SDR. I see a level of the 100, the 200, and the 300 are all about the same, so some kind of something is poorly going on here. Over.
So now I was monitoring on Milford SDR, which is, these SDR receivers do roll out at about 200 cycles, but I now have you on my local antenna, which is flat. Receivers down to 100 cycles. The monitor system is down to 50 cycles. So if you would, why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system?
The antenna is an optimized G5RV in a V configuration. Up about 40 feet. I've been using the antenna for several years now. Over.
Roger. Still showing a deficiency down there around the 300 cycle rollout. So, I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, you might check out the audio that I'm recording, and you can hear what I'm saying, sir. So if you would like to do that, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. This recording will be cut number 1 of 2,000 some odd Qso-Vlog recordings. Go to YouTube, do the call letter search KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. KC9VKV logbook would take you to our Qso-Vlog page. Roger.
Okay, very good. Thanks for that help, and I'll take a look at it from Charlie Tango.
Roger, Bob. And also, what is your location, sir?
I'm in southern Michigan, about 10 miles north of Flint, Michigan.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Bob. I appreciate it. And, gosh, if you get a chance, why don't you give me a call next Friday, and we'll, you'll have a chance to listen to your audio recording and see what, maybe look at things and figure out exactly what's going on. 73, Bob, and we'll catch you later. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. We record live now till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo 4, Sierra, Oscar Bravo.
Oscar Bravo station. Oscar Bravo station. Come back slowly with your call sign phonetically, please.
Yes, Kilo 4, Sierra, Oscar Bravo.
Sierra Oscar Bravo, Roger, and what's the name?
Name's Bobby. I'm about 45 miles west of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Roger. So you're in Tennessee, is that a Roger?
Roger.
Alrighty, and Bobby, what radio are you running today, sir?
I'm running FTDX10.
FTDX10, Roger?
Roger.
Alrighty, Bobby, gosh, why don't you give me why don't you tell me about your antenna system for about 10 seconds, and let me hear your audio.
Roger, it's off-center fed dipole, about 75 feet, oriented east to west, and ends it's set up flat, over.
Alrighty, you got pretty fairly wide range in your audio curve. I would prefer a little more top end. You got a nice bottom end there to your curve. Maybe just about 3 clicks boost treble EQ from where you are.
Let's see, I'm on the parametric EQ, and looks like it's on a level of 10, so it's wide open.
Alrighty, what is that, like a 3-band parametric?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is the bandwidth of the, what is the center frequency of the treble EQ?
I've got the bandwidth set at a 1.
Yes, sir. What is the frequency?
3,200 hertz.
That's the bottom end. We're talking treble, sir. Other end of this, other end of the equalizer, treble EQ.
Level 10, that is the treble.
I'm sorry, what is your frequency then of your treble EQ, center frequency?
3,200.
Okay, you probably want to drop that down to about 26 to get a little more activity within the range of where we're trying to boost. Roger?
Roger. That's set on 2,600 right there.
Yes, sir. And your max plus 10 or whatever?
Yes, sir. Plus 10.
All righty. Sounds a lot better. Try 25. 25, if you would, sir.
Yes, sir. There's 2,500 hertz.
All right, sir. Now widen it up just a little bit, maybe to a 3.
All right, right there is a level 3. Or you mean bandwidth?
Yes, sir. The width of the parametric.
Okay, there is level 3.
All right, sir. And the other thing would be to check to be sure that your 100 to 2900 on your bandpass. 100 to 2900 on your bandpass, Roger.
Roger, it's set at 100 to 2900.
All right, gosh, I would prefer just a little less bass. The thing is, I pointed this out quite often, that Mother Nature sometimes, everything about ham radio moves by skywave. There's nothing hardly that happens ground wave. So it all is skywave. And sometimes Mother Nature doesn't bend all of the signal back at the same place and time. Sometimes she bends a little bit more back later on at a higher altitude, and consequently there's a time-based difference when the two signals come back down, and many times it causes what's called phase cancellation due to the fact of the time era differential. And what happens then, the first frequencies that are canceled are your top end and mids, and it comes down from the very top, the syllable range, down through the mid-range and whatnot. So if you have this beautiful signal with a lot of bass and a lot of treble, and it's so well balanced and nice and full, and Mother Nature does one of these phase cancellations and takes all that top end away, suddenly you're left with a bunch of bass, and it sounds like Mr. Bassman. Roger?
Roger, I completely understand. I'm right now on EQ1, I'm at 300 hertz. At a level of -8 and a bandwidth of 2.
Oh, that sounds really nice there. That really sounds nice. Why don't you tell me, to get a little bit more recording, why don't you tell me about 10 seconds of the radio that you are running and what you like about it?
Roger, it's Yazoo FTDX10. It's got a lot more features on it than I use, but it's got an awesome receive, and the last radio I had was the FT900, and there's just no comparison. Over.
Yes, sir. Just beautiful audio, sir. Just beautiful. And if you'd like to hear it, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. And this will be cut number 1 of a series of 2,000 some odd Qso-Vlog recordings. Roger?
Roger, Jim. I sure do appreciate your help. I know a lot of guys depend on people with your experience to help them out. Over.
Yes, sir. You just a beautiful curve there, sir. And we'll have this uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Roger, Jim. I appreciate it again. K4SOB 73s.
A little play on words on that call sign. 73, Bobby. Have a great afternoon, a beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. There's about 4 stations that time. Strongest one, try it again. There's a Kilo Delta 8 station. Kilo Delta 8 station. Come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Kilo Delta 8, Delta Charlie Whiskey.
DCW, Roger. And what's the call sign?
KD8 DCW.
Roger, I've lost my mind. I meant to ask you what your name was.
Oh, I'm sorry. The name is James, Joint Alpha Mike Echo Sierra, and I'm running an ICOM 761.
Roger, James, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
I'm here in Ohio, 100 miles south of Columbus, in a little city called Gallup.
All right, James, I want you to check your VFO and your clarifier. Make sure your clarifier is off, and your VFO is on 7188.00. You sound like you might be a little high on frequency. So 7188.00. Roger, roger.
Roger, is that better there?
You're still, I think you're still high. I'm not real sure, but have you had trouble with that frequency VFO before?
No, I just had it repaired. I hope they got it fixed. Let me push the button on the transmit and see if I can adjust it that way.
All right, sir, do that. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about there, and also you might check to be sure that your clarifier, if you're running a clarifier, that it is in the off mode. It sounds like something like that might be happening.
Okay, I moved my TRX to -2. Did that help anything? Did that help me?
You're very high frequency now. You're very high frequency. I think you might have been low before, but you're high now. So maybe split the difference between where you were and where you are.
Okay, this is -01.
Still high. Pull it down a little bit.
Okay, this is -00.
Getting close. Why don't you tell me about your antenna system for 10 seconds and let me listen to you.
Okay, I have a 134-foot low wire with 17 feet of counterpoise, grounded, and my radio is Nikon 761, and I'm just running straight 100 watts, no amplifier, and it has an Nikon S5 mic on it, and I've got the compression set. I got the compression on, and the mic gain set at 3 o'clock, or not 3 o'clock. I'm sorry, set at the mic gain set on 3.
Okay, sounds really close. What frequency does your radio say you are?
My radio is saying 7.188.0.
Roger. Okay, close enough then. We'll just take it that way. And what I would suggest as part of our setup procedure, we start with the compressor engaged at a 3. Compressor on and at a 3 as the start of our setup procedure.
Okay, that's where I'm sitting now. I've been sitting here listening, and that's where I've got everything set to start with.
Roger, roger. Okay, and then we visit the ALC with mic gain in hand, and as we speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, adjust your mic gain until your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3.
Okay, 100, 200, 300, 100, 200, 300. And the ALC is running about the middle way.
Sounds like you might be pretty hot. What is your mic gain at the moment? What does your mic gain say?
My mic gain is on 11 o'clock right now. But this SM5 mic does have a power control on the mic itself. Do I need to turn it down?
Well, I'll tell you what the best way to adjust that is put your internal radio mic gain at 5 or middle at 5 or middle position on your internal mic gain, and then adjust your mic internal gain, your mic gain, to maybe turn it down a little bit. We'll see how that goes. But the whole idea is that you put your internal radio mic gain in a nominal mode, in a nominal gain position, like a medium, like a 5, and then adjust your external mic gain until you have the right level. Roger, roger?
Roger, roger. My mic gain is set. My mic gain is I turned it down to about a 3 o'clock position. I'm sorry, about an 8 o'clock position. 8 o'clock position, and it's probably on a 3. I'm sorry. Mic gain's on about the mic's on a 3. My mic gain on the radio is set at 12 o'clock, and the compressor is still on.
Yes, sir. Okay, just out of curiosity, once you turn your compressor off and let me hear you.
Okay. Compressor is off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, that compressor is fairly active at a 3. I'm assuming we're saying 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100. Roger, how is your input level terminology on your compressor input?
I'm going past the red, like I need to turn the mic gain down.
But you have a volume control for your input to your mic gain, and it says, what does it say on the escutcheons? Is it 0 to 10 or 0 to 100?
The mic gain is set at 12 o'clock, and the mic itself is turned down to almost off.
Yes, sir. I was talking more like your compressor. Talking about your compressor, sir, at the moment. Is that a 0 to 10 input level on your compressor? And we're talking about compressor. Is it a 0 to 10 input on your compressor or 0 to 100 input on your compressor?
0 to 20.
0 to 20. All right, so we want to be, we want to be at about a 6. Roger, somewhere around a 6, I think. Yes, a 6.
Okay. I'm right now. I turned it down halfway to 8 o'clock position. I'm supposed to go over. I'm still over talking. I'm about probably 2.5 feet from the mic. Let me turn the mic gain down some more.
You're too far away from the mic for sure. You don't want to be 2.5 feet. You want to be at about 5 inches, 4 to 5 inches away from that mic. Roger?
Roger. Okay, now I'm out about a 3 on the compression, and I'm about 10 inches from the mic.
All right. Now, so I want you to turn that mic gain up a little bit, and and your internal mic gain on your radio is at a 5 or 50%. Roger?
Roger. Now, my internal mic gain is set at 12 o'clock, or halfway.
Yes, sir. Okay. So now bring up your mic gain a little bit more, maybe about just a skosh boost, and let me see where it goes.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. KD8750.
Coming along. Now try to turn it just a little bit more up, a little more boost on that mic gain.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, sir. Let's do that for right now. Do you have an ALC meter?
Yes, I'm shooting just a little bit over the ALC. It's looks like it's when I'm talking at 8 inches from the mic, it's going to about 25 on the ALC, which is past the red.
Pastor, we don't want to exceed the speed limit there. Do you know what the upper level is? I mean, we want to be 50% to 75%, mid-scale to 2/3 of your ALC meter. Mid-scale to 2/3 of your ALC meter. Roger?
Okay.
Yeah, that level was too low.
Okay. Well, I just barely touched it, and it keeps going past the red. Let me see if I can get middle way.
That's whatever you're seeing red there. That is not the 100% mark for the ALC, because you're nowhere near 3 dB dynamic range, which you would be if you were running mid-scale to 2/3. So bring her on up there some.
Okay, Jim. Okay, I'm just a little bit below where I was when you said it started sounding good.
Yeah, keep on coming.
Down or up?
Up, I'm sorry.
Okay, the mic is on 12 o'clock, and the radio is on about 1 o'clock.
Yes, sir. Let's go with that. Now, do you know where your equalization is on that radio?
I don't think it's got an equalization. It's just got mic gain and power and ALC.
Is that right? No equalization capabilities at all?
No, I can't see it. This radio was made in 1980, 89, so I don't know if there's any equalization. The only thing I've been able to do to equalize it was just to use the mic gain.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, okay, now how far off mic are you working at the moment?
About 12 inches.
Okay, I wouldn't have you work any further than that because what happens is when you get further off mic, then you have to start dealing with room echo and stuff. So, and we don't want that. So I would say don't get further back off mic than where you are at the moment, and try to adjust the mic straight on azimuth. In other words, try not to talk across it. Try to talk into it from the distance that you are. Roger?
Okay, I'm about, looks like about probably 12 inches from the mic. The mic is on the radio, and I'm talking basically straight into it.
All right, now I think we're cooking along here. Let's go back and work on our compressor. Engage your compressor again, and just put it on a 1, if you would. You know, we were looking for a 3 before. Just try a 1, and let's see where that goes.
Okay, I'm about, looks like I'm about a 3 on the compressor with it on. Let me go down to 1 and see what happens. Hello. Okay, right there's about a 1.5 to 2 when I talk.
All right, take the compressor off and come back and talk to me.
Okay, right back at you, Jim. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Roger, that compressor is really very active. If you were, I know you started hot. Come back with the position where you ended up with, and with the compressor engaged at the level you were right at the end of that last transmission.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, I'm starting to lose you, I think, a little bit there. Just out of curiosity, come right up on that mic and right on it, and give me the word 4 right on that mic, right on it.
You say come up on the mic gain or the mic?
The mic. Come up right up on that mic and say 4.
4.
All right, just stretch that 4 out to a 4.
4.
Now talk to me. Tell me about your antenna system in 10 seconds.
Okay, Jim. I'm running a long 134-foot long wire with this ICOM 761, an old bird anchor, and I hope it's doing okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, now I want you to dead key for about 3 seconds. In other words, key it. Don't say anything, but just let it go for about 3 or 4 seconds. Dead key. Roger? Okay, James, did you do that, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, and your compressor is engaged, Roger?
Yes, the compressor is engaged.
Roger, well, you're well within tolerance there. You did not have any suck-up, which if your compressor was really hot, it would be sucking up, level. I didn't hear anything, so it's well within its capabilities. Now, you might try to inch that compression up just a little bit from where it is. A compression boost, just a little bit from where it is.
Okay, Jim. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. James, I'm sorry to say, but that input level control for that compressor does not have any finesse. It sounds like it's either on or off. When you're just down there towards the end of that thing, it's just as loud as if you had it almost full blast. Roger?
Roger. Lisa, I really appreciate you getting me close to where it sounds okay. I'm glad you was on here because, like I said, I just got this radio. Well, I've had this radio for a while, but it was broken when I got it, and I had it repaired. And heck, who knows? They may have cut the compression off of it or something.
Just out of curiosity, why don't you try adjusting the compression level all the way up? Maybe somebody's got the volume turned around backwards there. Try it all the way up and let me hear you there for about 3 seconds.
Okay. All the way up, Jim. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, sir. You just have a bodacious compressor, sir. That was unbelievably compressed. So the wiring is correct on that attenuator input to the compressor. It's just that it's very ticklish down at the bottom end. So I would say go back to the bottom end, less minimum drive, and just come up a skosh and let me hear you there.
Okay, I'm down to about 80 watts, and I'm going to give you a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That sounded pretty good. Now give me a dead key. Okay, I heard no suck up, so I would run it just like that, James. It sounded pretty good to me, sir. I'm not getting any suck up, and I'm not getting any bodacious compression like I was. So I would say, that your input level to the compressor is very sensitive, much more sensitive than what it should be, ideally. Roger?
Roger. The gentleman I had work on this radio, he's one of those type of people that wants to get everything you get out of the radio. And thank God he didn't turn the wattage up on it any more than what it already had. It just puts out 100 watts. But he said at one time he had it up to 100. He had the radio up to 180 watts, and I said no, turn it back to 100 watts where it belongs.
Roger. Now just bypass the compressor. Let me hear you without the compressor on, sir.
Okay, with no compressor off. And I'm going to give you a 5 count. 1, 2, 3,
he needs more mic gain, but that'll get it.
All right, now why don't you turn up your mic gain a little bit more, and let me look at your you look at your ALC with that compressor off, and with the mic gain in hand, adjust mic gain for your ALC to read mid-scale to 2/3, where you speak rapidly to get that ALC meter up where you can read it.
Okay. The ALC is about, I took it up to 9 o'clock position on the ALC, and it's going just a little bit past the, the 20 on the ALC.
I would call it good there, sir. It's not distorted. You do look like you're running maybe 4 dB in dynamic range, which is close enough. Considering that we can't get that compressor. That compressor knows no bounds. It's like either on or off. I mean, just when it's on, it's full tilt, much too much. So I'll just run with that compressor off, and I think you're close enough, Roger.
Well, thank you very much, Jim, and I sure appreciate you being in here. I hate to take up everybody's time and want to get in there and talk to you also. I got your call set down here, and I got the logbook thing, so maybe I can, maybe sometime the first week I'll get on your logbook and listen to myself.
Yes, sir. It's KC9VKV. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook on a YouTube search. So, James, let me say 73 to you, sir, and appreciate you dropping by. And if so, you get a chance, check in next Friday. Roger?
Roger. Information comment, please. Information comment for you, Jim.
KC9 Victor Kilo Victor from KD8DCW. Thank you.
Roger, James. And comment station, go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Jim, K9 United Radio and the Kilo Charlie 8 station. Just a quick note here on the ICOM 761. If you go to the owner's manual, page 58, you can adjust your transmit audio. The bass and the treble response of the transmitted signal may be altered by going to resistor 155, which is a variable resistor, on the main circuit board. And you could refer to your manual for that. So you need a little bit more treble. You can adjust that potentiometer inside the radio, and that'll give you a little bit of equalization. I agree with Jim. I wouldn't run the processor. It really is far too compressed, and there's probably an adjustment in there to bring that compression down a little bit, and that'll help your signal. It's K9 United Radio in Indiana. Good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you, K9 Radio. I got the manual, so I'll look at it and see. Maybe it's something I can do to get it back down. Then I can come back to Jim next weekend and see what happens.
Sounds good, James. 73, sir. Thanks for dropping by in comment station. Thank you. And with that, we got to jump out of here. We see by the clock on the wall, there's a dead fly. And so we got to get out of here. Appreciate everyone dropping by. If you did and would like to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page. And this will be cut number 1 of some 2,000 some odd Qso-Vlog air checks. So that's KC9VKV logbook. There's another address. If you go to KC9VKV highlights, that's a different thing, and that's some other QSOs that we've had of more interesting, less tune-up technical stuff, but more interesting humanitarian-wise. I guess we would say that. Anyway, got to get out of here. This is KC9VKV returning the frequency back to average, normal, everyday amateur use. This is KC9VKV clear.
Yeah, 73, Jim.
Roger, 373, KC9VKV clear.
One more. Kilo Oscar 4 Victor Kilo X-ray.
X-ray station, go.
Kilo Oscar 4 Victor Kilo X-ray. Just a real quick comeback for me.
Yes, sir.
How does that sound?
It sounds pretty good. Still, we could use a little more top end, but you know, I think we went through that and tried to get as much as we could out of that. Roger.
Roger that. Yeah, this is 7300. I can go in there and put a little more treble on that.
Oh, okay. By sure, you can do that. Are you running the supplied hand mic?
I'm sorry. Come back.
Are you running the supplied 7300 hand mic?
That's QSL. Yes, I am.
Okay, try about a +3 treble boost, about a +3 treble boost flat on the bottom side, and that should do it for that mic. And a +3 compression ratio, compressor on at a 3, and that radio should be in tall clover. Roger.
QSL that. Yeah, right now everything's pretty much at 50%. So should I turn the bass back or still just turn the treble up a little bit?
Turn the treble up 3 clicks, and let me hear you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yes, sir. A compressor on at a 3. Is that a Roger?
Let me go back and get that on there. Yeah, compression is on a 5.
Want to move that down to a 3?
There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Compression on 3.
Yes, sir. Okay, now when you work that hand mic, pull it to the corner of your lips and talk across it. Actually touch the corner of your lips and talk across it. Roger?
Roger that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, sir. And why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system real fast, and let me hear you.
Okay, I appreciate you helping me out here. Yeah, I got a fan dipole that I built myself, and it's 10, 20, and 40 meter. I'm relatively new to this. This radio's new to me. I'm new to ham radio. I just got my general actually this month.
Yes, sir. I think we got it there, sir. And what's it called again?
Kilo Oscar 4 Victor Kilo X-ray.
And what's the name?
Roger, out of Alabama.
And it's 7300, Roger?
That's correct.
Roger, Roger, Roger. 73, sir. Have a good afternoon. Beautiful weekend. We got to get out of here. Pleasure. And if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording. You'll be right at the end of it. 73, sir. This is KC9VKV, returning the frequency back to amateur use. This is KC9VKV, clear.